What up, everyone? You know who I am. I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah, check us out on YouTube. And right now we're doing a what if. What if Iron Man had been a traitor? Yes. What if Iron Man had turned against the USA, his fellow heroes, as well as the known free world, quote unquote? As a man sweats, worried, stressed, trying to gain control, trying to fight the influence. But yet, he struggles between life and death, trying to hold on his heart, trying to pump, keep going, keep moving. And yes, the doctor who's helped bringing him back to life, assisting him, working on the Iron Man suit, for there is shrapnel in his heart, and the armor is the only thing keeping him alive. In that moment, he wakes up, and Iron Man is born as he starts making his way, slashing and crossing, destroying every soldier in his path. As the story of Iron Man. You know, he stepped on a landmine. He got captured basically by the North Koreans, and they said that they're going to use him to make death machines. But he had other plans. He built the suit and left. And this led to him forming the Avengers and going on to have a great superhero career. But what if things have changed? At the moment he was saved, the doctor was killed and he was captured. And they had plans for Iron Man to send him back as a hero, but more importantly as a spy, their spy, waiting for the right moment, the most opportune moment to take advantage and drop the boom on the United States. Basically, they brainwash Iron Man here. They torture him. They also put a device, satellite linked to his heart and one in his mind, so the dictator can have constant communication with Tony. And they torture him and torture him until finally he agrees. Of course, they call the soldiers who conveniently show up to rescue him because he's a billionaire military industrialist, so of course they're going to come for him. And he begins to make his plans. He talks to Miss Potts, and this is where he meets Nick Fury for the first time. And Nick Fury is a member of the CIA at this point. And of course, Tony still has the dictator in his mind, telling him that he will betray them. He will do what he says. And so Tony starts to launch initiatives, programs to kind of help out with military items, military spending, this and that. And in this world, the Avengers actually don't form. And Iron Man actually demonstrates how he beats different villains, you know, that he's actually a servant of the people. Even though the Avengers had never formed, like I said before, he still goes out with different heroes and tries to make an effort to be a hero himself. Some people trust him, others do not. But of course, you know, like I said, other superheroes like Thor, of course, extend their hands out, but there's other people that have doubts. Of course, Nick Fury being one of them. He feels in his heart of hearts that Tony Stark is dirty and that he's working for the other side. And how right he is. Although he doesn't want to, he's a prisoner in the suit. He has to do what they say. Otherwise, his heart will shut down and he will die. And like I said, no Avengers team, but he went on many different team-ups with the Fantastic Four, Thor, as well as other heroes, fighting the good fight. Now, Reed is a little surprised to find Fury sitting there waiting to talk to them in their own house. And of course, he lets them know his theory about Tony Stark being dirty. And this gets Reed thinking, you know, because Reed's always thinking. And of course, this is the moment that the dictator's been waiting for. The S.H.I.E.L.D. report, and Nick Fury is on the top of that list. Tony Stark knows what he must do. He must help them kill Nick Fury. So the Hydra agents show up to Nick Fury's place of rental, and they start shooting at him. They basically start filling the place up with bullets, doing any and everything to just kind of get rid of him. And of course, they even bring in a flamethrower. Hell yeah, they bring in a flamethrower. And of course, Nick Fury is that good. He's trained for these situations. He knows how to deal with it. But all the training in the world doesn't mean nothing when you're outnumbered. The numbers game, like I've always mentioned. Of course, the dictator is looking on and Tony's meditating, trying to find a way to extend his heart if the machine shuts down, trying to find a way to break the control, to break the cycle. And of course, the Fantastic Four goes to see Nick Fury, and this is where he tells him that it was Stark that set him up. He knows that it was Stark. And these guys are fooling around, doing what they usually do. And they throw out a box which torch incinerates. Iron Man shows up. And the thing about this was all a ruse. The box actually contained these microscopic dust made by Reed, technological, of course, and he was actually able to pick up some kind of communications device, both in his chest and in his head. And this is the part where Sue Storm goes to visit Nick Fury and just kind of lays everything out for him, while the Dictator is sending him more messages because he can't decipher the code, so he needs Anthony to decipher it for him. And Anthony refuses it for a moment, and then his heart starts to shut down, stops beating, and he pleads with him, let me live, let me live. So he lets him live to be a traitor. Meanwhile, Reed is working on a plan to save Iron Man, Tony, and more importantly, the country from this traitor. Iron Man has a very ingenious way here of shutting down the computer. He sends these mini bombs that kind of look like a pigeon, sort of, and it flies off with a flock of pigeons. That way it just looks like a bunch of droppings, and it just kind of shuts down the computer, giving Iron Man enough time to break in and destroy Reed Richards and find out what he knows, and then make his way to Fury. As he goes through the building, he has all kinds of different technological devices too. It's tit for tat. And of course, Tony is prepared for a lot of Reed's traps, gizmos, enhanced walls, vice versa. This is basically a battle of the brains. And so him and Reed are going at it. He uses a beam to kind of shorten his armor out, but Iron Man extends a force field. And like I said, they're going back and forth. The fight is actually going really good. He charges for Reed, but realizes that it's a hologram and that Reed is somewhere else in the building. And Reed is trying to come up with a plan B, something to shut down Iron Man. Of course, they see each other, and Iron Man jumps right for him. Reed kind of uses another hologram, leads him into a room, and tells him not to shoot, not to do anything. But Iron Man's not hearing that, and he gets shocked with a big electrical magnetic pulse. The whole room's laced with it, knocks his suit out, knocks him out. And this gives Reed enough time to operate on him, to take out the machine, the probe, and Tony's free from the influence. And the armor, it's making its way back to the Dictator, ready to explode. One last mission to destroy the man that made him a traitor. And what will happen on the next What If, we'll find out the next time, won't we? And I'll catch you on the flip side.